2 weeks to go to the NIFHA Housing Finance Conference. If someone hasn't booked already, why would you recommend that they do so?
Well, this is the only dedicated finance event for housing professionals in Northern Ireland, so I think it's a really important one if you want to get to know what's happening in the sector in terms of finance and investment. There are going to be opportunities to get a first look at the sector global accounts and find out how the sector's been performing over the last year, which is always of interest, and I think there'll be a lot in that session. There are going to be 13 experts in their field sharing their experience and insight on critical issues for the sector here, and also it's an opportunity for some informal networking between housing association finance teams, chief executives and boards, banking and consultancy sectors, so a good chance to talk to people about the support and services that you have to offer and also that you might need.
And it's the second year of the Housing Finance Conference. What's different this year from last year?
Well, we really listened to the feedback from delegates last year and tried to take that on board and develop a programme that meets their needs. So we have got a packed programme, we've got more speakers covering more issues, we've tried to make the sessions shorter and snappier so we can cover a lot more ground during the day. We've also developed sub-plenary sessions this year. Last year people said we wanted a chance to delve more into the detail of issues, so those 1 hour sessions will allow you to have a lot more interaction and discussion on key issues such as tackling fraud and stress testing, and I think it means that the programme will really appeal to a broad range of delegates, whether you're a finance director, finance officer, a chief executive, a board member, or someone who works in an organisation who does a lot with housing associations. You will get something out of the sessions and the programme.
And what would you say the big takeaways are for delegates from the conference?
I think because the programme is so varied and diverse, there's actually going to be something different for everyone. So what I take away from it will be different from what a finance director will take away or one of the lenders to the sector. For me, there are 3 areas that I'm particularly interested in hearing a bit more about. Value for money is one of those. We talk a lot about VFM. What does that actually mean for housing associations? We know that there's probably going to be a new regulatory standard on it, so it's a critical area, and I think Erica Stoddart from North Lincolnshire Homes will really be able to share some valuable insight into how a housing association can go about quantifying their value for money and really demonstrating it to their stakeholders and to the regulator. NIFHA's done a huge amount of work on rent policy over the last year, and that's going to be a critical policy area moving forward. So I'm really keen to hear what living rent looks like and other rent setting models across the UK. And Pete Redmond from Trade Risk is going to be doing a session on that, so I'm looking forward to that one. And finally, I think the stress testing sub-plenary, it will be really interesting because I think actually it has broader relevance than just for housing associations. I think no matter what organisation you're working in, you'll take something away from that, and it will have a applicability quite broadly across a range of different organisations. So those are my 3 takeaways. I think they'll be different to everyone else's, but I'm looking forward to those sessions.